Alright, welcome back to We Play Games. I'm Walker, and here we are in SpellForce Conquest of Eo, about to resume our Necromancer of Draycott campaign. So here in SpellForce Conquest of Eo, this is a 4X tactical combat RPG game, but I think the story is really fun, and so I'm going to lean into utilizing the story. We are playing on Impossible, so we'll see how we do in regards to story completion, but I've played a bit of the campaign on my own, so I think we can make it a competitive game, if not one we win. But we did just clear the enemies over this Allfire node, and so we can summon an enchanted wisp to help us take control over it. Allfire in this case is sort of this magical resource that we will be able to translate into all of the other magical resources, and so Allfire is very powerful, very important. But unfortunately for us, the Spire of the Circle has actually emerged to lay claim to the Allfire as well, and so us simply melding with it isn't going to be enough. We're going to need to destroy this stolen page's location. But let's begin by summoning our enchanted wisp and sending it to meld with the Allfire. Before you is the glory of the Allfire. Its raw, unbridled energy sings to you, resonating with every fiber of your being. You desire nothing more than to touch it, though you know it will destroy you. The wisp beside you hums slowly, resonating with the Allfire too. So we could give ourselves over to the Allfire's call, or we could let the wisp meld with the node and study it. I think in this case, the Necromancer of Draycott, he's going to be an arrogant kind of evil despot, and I think he's going to give himself over to the Allfire's call. Tears stream down your face. You find yourself laughing with joy, with the sheer ecstasy of the power flowing through you. But you cannot hold it for more than a fraction of a second. You step back, hollow and weak, before it can sweep you away forever. It is no use. You simply do not have the means to do what the Circle accomplished. You cannot connect to the Allfire directly. We'll let the wisp do the meld. You barely manage to avert your gaze from the wondrous energy, so powerful is your desire to delve into the Allfire source. But you do restrain yourself, focusing instead on what can be learned from observing the meld. So we're going to get 10 extra research, and then to hell with the Circle, I will conquer the Allfire. So our wisp here is going to click meld, same with this ghoul, who's going to wander over here and harvest some magical water for us. Also, the ghoul is going to reveal that there are some scary tier 2 snow leopards over here. That's going to be important for us to keep in mind, because standing in front of the stolen pages, of course, we have a horned demon and 3 lesser fire golems. The lesser fire golems in particular are very scary towards our ghouls, because they're going to be dealing with this fireball damage, and ghouls do have a 20% elemental weakness. But unfortunately for this new army that we just summoned, I think we're going to have to use it to fight these guys. I think realistically, because we do not want the horned demon and these adds to disrupt our melding with the Allfire, I think we need to get them out of the way, and then we need to destroy this spire as soon as possible. So let's take our new units here and send them off to their death. Alright, so we're gonna see how much damage we can do to this army with this sacrificial army here. We got a couple of ghouls, and so it's unfortunate that we're losing those, but keep in mind that unit recruitment cost doesn't exist in this game. It's just unit upkeep, and so goblins, I think they're mostly sacrificial. The AI here was kind enough to separate one of the fire golems on the other side of the lake, so we're going to try to take that one out. If we can take out one fire golem and do some damage to the horned beast, I think we'll have a pretty easy cleanup fight with our main stack. But let's go ahead and lay into the fire golem, and we'll send our other ghouls up to defend here in the water. They are going to be pretty good at threatening those fire golems next turn. So if this happens and they take out a goblin brawler, it's not the end of the world. Excellent. Unfortunately for us, our goblin archers have actually been scared off by the horned beast. It let out a terrifying roar, and that was enough. But our ghouls, I think, are actually going to be able to take a second fire golem out here, but that's okay. This is going to be reducing the amount of experience points our main army can get, but it's also going to significantly reduce the damage output of these guys, and I want to try to capture the horned beast soul if we can get away with it. So let's bring this plague bearer up and our apprentice, and that'll join our stack of veteran legionnaires here. And let's go ahead and start the battle. So they do only have the one horned beast, and the horned beast is also fatigued, so it's -2 speed, and so it's going to be a little easier to handle here with these troops. Basically, our goal is just avoid it whenever we can, and do our best to get a soul catch on it. And then we'll put our ghoul up front to defend, and we've attacked our horned beast. Let's see, it took poison damage. Oh boy, those ghouls are getting wailed on. So if we're gonna save that ghoul, it's gonna be this turn. Yeah, let's see if we can take down the demon. No soul cage, unfortunate. And now that we've taken down the horned demon, we can consume its corpse to heal the ghouls. All right, well, at least we got the soul cage on the lesser fire golem. We gained a lesser greedy soul. That's a good one, because that's +1 gold as additional loot after each one battle. That's a very powerful ability on a ghoul, or really anybody. But in this case, we have a very badly damaged ghoul, so we're gonna go ahead and send that one back to the bank. Pretty soon, we're gonna cast Aid right here, but I think I want to get all of our injured ghouls on staff first. Ah, speaking of greedy, one of our goblin archers actually picked up greedy. Well, so we'll keep that guy in our stack here, but I think we'll wait on this attack on stolen pages until we have a second unit that we can send into it. And right now, due to the relative damage on all of our ghouls, that doesn't look very likely. So rather than sending these units off to their death into stolen pages, let's make some more units. So we do have a lesser greedy soul as well as lesser pristine soul. I think we could use both of those here. So first, let's use our lesser greedy soul. The lesser greedy soul comes with a green and an orange, an elemental, and so that means we can actually build a skeleton warrior here. So let's put a remains on, and then by adding 2 more elemental pips, we end up with 3 elemental, which means we could build a skeleton warrior here. I think I'm happy building 1 skeleton warrior, especially a greedy skeleton warrior. That could be pretty helpful for our economy. It's only 2 turns to craft that. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and just turn a lesser pristine soul straight into a ghoul. We don't have to add anything to this because it's a natural no pip. In this case, we could turn this lesser pristine soul into an undead mage if we so desired. But again, generally speaking, I think undead mages are strongest when they have a combat ability attached to them, and this doesn't give them any sort of upgrades, so we'll preserve our arcane for later. Meantime, almost free ghoul sounds pretty good to me, and we'll hire a goblin brawler and a goblin archer for good measure. So I think what we'll do here is we'll probably attack this mine. Not because it's under our control yet, but because we're going to have this mine under our control very soon. And moreover, this is a good opportunity for us to get some experience on these guys, and if any of them get damaged, I want to cast Aid on them. So we're going to attack the mine. There's a tier 2 unit here, and a tier 2 unit there, so maybe we'll get lucky. Let's see. So one of the scarier units they have here is the sentry. A sentry is a really strong ranged unit here, but it is in every other turn, so it does have to reload, but it does a lot of damage if you're not careful. I think our best bet here is to probably just try to take a little bit of damage here and then counterfire. Alas, we did not get the soul cage on the sentry. Alright, looks like everybody's going to be moving in to fight the ghouls. That should be okay. Let's get the soul cage on the ah man, didn't get the soul cage on the cutthroats either. Ah well, we will raise undead here, and then we'll have our ghouls continue guarding. So Jonath has created walking corpses here, which are tier 2 undead, but I think they're going to persist with us actually, assuming that they survive. Yeah, let's take them out. All right, yeah, we gained a couple of levels, and we picked up a good luck charm. That's pretty good. And we got a sky iron and a mountain cop and 2 mountain copper. We got melding flesh here on our plague bearers. That's a big deal. +3 magical daily regeneration means that now the plague bearers will actually heal themselves and are no longer going to require us to send aid to them. I think if we wanted to get more experience points with Jonath here and get him up to level 2, then this would be another pretty easy fight, and this on a mana stash, which can help us in regards to casting aid. So I think we're just going to call in one of the healthy ghouls, switch out the damaged one, and then I think we're going to go ahead and attack these guys. It'll also give us an opportunity to pick up a blessing, which will be really helpful when we're fighting stolen pages. These poor little goblin archers just got wailed on by those dwarven workers, but that means that the dwarven workers have left their shields down, so we can go in here and hopefully blow them apart. So now there's 1 corpse on the board. We could potentially attack with this goblin archers here, but they are very low on hit points, so I think actually what we're going to do, just to preserve this relatively high level unit, is retreat it and defend. It's still close enough that if the enemy really wants to attack it, they can, but it's going to require them to get into weird positions, and I think that generally speaking that would be advantageous. Yeah, it looks like instead they're just going to wail on the ghouls. Sucks for the ghouls, but great for everybody else. Alright, we got soul caged on the cutthroats. Yeah, we'll take out the cutthroats here. We'll raise undead right next to their hunters, and then we'll do some damage to the dwarven worker. Let's see what happens. Oh, looks like they're gonna take out our ghoul. Oh no, the ghoul survives on 2 hit points. Oh, unbelievable. Well, that gains us 30 hit points. Well, we got 2 more vigorous souls, I guess. But we did also get 7 mana, and now we can even next turn pick up this shrine. Although we might be attacked by these guys. So let's go ahead and level up. I think with our current skill loadout, we don't really need 2 extra focus, but we're about to get fear. So I think picking up exploit fear actually makes sense. I think the plague bearers are going to be mostly defensive, so we'll give them armor whenever it shows up. Oh, and we can pick up blinding powder, which is a powerful status debuff. So let's go ahead and cast Aid. Aid is going to take another turn to actually finish due to the fact that we don't have enough mastery to spend 9 mana in 1 turn. That's one of the biggest benefits to getting Allfire up going as soon as you can, because if you can get your mastery up to above 10, then you'll expand the size of your domain, and you'll just be a lot stronger in general. Let's go ahead and actually make use of this Allfire. So here we have Allfire Flow. When this is online, you can actually scale around in here and pick up specific distributions of resources. In this case, I just want to get our mastery online. I think getting up to level 10 mastery as soon as possible is really good. And so we're going to do 9, 1. This does mean that we're slowing down our fear, but it's temporary, I promise. A new day dawns, bringing forth fresh challenges and dangers throughout the land. The circle resents your growing power. I will be prepared, come what may. So we just got -10 with all of the circle mages due to seizing control of this Allfire node. It is still contested though, so we do need to destroy this spire as soon as possible. Fortunately, I think we've set ourselves up to do just that. Let's go ahead and grab this shrine, which is going to give us always dealing maximum damage. That's a really huge combat buff. We'll go to the Dwarven Windweed, we'll run back to the castle, then we'll heal all of our ghouls, including our new blessed one, and then we'll cast Aid right here. And what this is going to do is next turn all these guys are going to heal for an enormous amount because they actually regenerate extra on the mage tower, and Aid is a regeneration effect. In the meantime, we have some new expendable recruits, so why don't we send those in to scout what's available for us to fight in the Stolen Pages and hopefully take out a unit or 2. The Circle's forces have spotted you from afar and are prepared for battle. Stay away or we will end you, their leader shouts from one of the tower's windows. We do not fear you. Attack. Alright, so yeah, these units are going to get absolutely crunked by these guys. Oh my god, they're going to get slaughtered. But if we could take out one of them, I think then this will be a pretty good exchange for us. But holy cow, they have a level 3 unit, the Medusa Warriors. Medusa Warriors have first strike, so they deal damage before being attacked. They also have a really strong white damage attack here, which applies stunned, and they do tons of damage in melee. So just this unit alone could probably solo those 4. But they also have a Magic Wisp, which fortunately is not a nature wisp, and so it doesn't have death magic resistance, but still magic wisps are scary. But I think we probably can remove the hunter if we're careful. So let's see who falls into our net. Soldiers move up to engage the goblin brawlers. That's pretty bad for them because they got broken armor on them. They got obliterated by the Medusa warriors there. But now the soldiers have actually laid themselves wide open for counterattack. So if we can remove the soldiers, that would be a really big bonus to our follow-up with our main stack. Send the ghouls in. Alright, well the soldiers are down to 2 hit points. Uh-oh. Nope, the archers are going to get taken out in melee combat. We reduced that soldier so low though that I think it was worth it, because the soldiers really are one of the scarier units here. Soldiers are tier 2 mortals, but because of their ability to apply broken armor, they really damage your other units. Alright, we've become a master mage. +1 domain radius, +1 apprentice slot, +3 tower rooms. Or our next apprentice is really close by. That's great. That means we can pick them up pretty much right away. I do want to go ahead and recruit troops. I forgot to last turn. But as it turns out, that actually was good for us because we picked up the border post at the same time. And so now we can actually recruit sentries. Sentries are a lot more expensive in terms of their upkeep than goblins, but they're way more combat effective. These guys have an insanely strong crossbow shot, and if you can get them up to a high enough level, they actually lose the need to reload. So they're really, really good. Let's go ahead and attack the circle, though. So their soldier did heal a little bit, but they still are only at 20 hit points. So let's start this battle. Fortunately, once the Medusa and the soldiers are gone, the rest of their units aren't as terrifying, but unfortunately the Medusas are just the scariest thing that we fought so far by a long shot. Alright, so they used their one shot already on our ghouls. Bad news for the ghouls, good news for everybody else. I think we're just going to go ahead and move our minions up and just take their soldiers out right away. Oh great, we even got soul caged. That's really good. And now we can go ahead and raise undead. So now we have walking corpses, and hopefully that'll draw some of the fire. And I think it's okay to go ahead and use the plague bearers here. Alright, so their militia are moving in to attack the walking corpse. Oh great, and the Medusas are moving in too. Looks like everybody is trying to take out this walking corpse. So the only thing that they did was remove our walking corpse from the board and a little bit of damage to the goblin archers. That was a great round of combat for us, especially because we can turn around with Jonath and just immediately make another walking corpse. We do have a finite number of uses here because of our focus, but every time we do this, it's going to be great. Let's have the plague bearers attack the Medusas here because I'd love to get poisoned on them. Yes, poisoned is great. Oh, plus we did enough damage to their morale that they're no longer super happy. Now they're down to steady. I think we're just going to move our minions down and attack the Medusa warriors. Great, we got soul caged on the Medusa warriors. That's incredible, actually. Yeah, let's guard with our ghouls. They're really low on hit points, but I'm hoping that we'll find an opportunity to consume corpse and heal. Looks like it's going to be everybody wail on the walking corpses again. Great. The more rounds of combat we get like that, the better. There we go. Took out the Medusa warrior. And we make yet another walking corpse. But now our ghouls move up and they heal for 30. So if they don't get DPS down, yep, doesn't look like they're going to. Looks like the AI is going to attack the walking corpse again. Awesome. Yep, looks like the entire combat for them is going to be just dealing with the walking corpses that our army summons onto the board. Awesome. Took them out. Now cross your fingers, everybody. We did get a soul caged on the Medusa. Oh my god, we got a level 3 pristine soul. You search through every room of the Circle's tower until you find your master's research spread out on a table. As promised, he has written about a way to channel a much larger amount of Allfire using your tower as a focus. Scanning the text, you barely understand half of it, but the potential is evident. This method would have brought him far closer to mastering the Allfire and rival the Circle mages. No wonder they wanted him stopped. They feared he would become their equal. So this is another -10 with all of the Circle mages. If we encounter them, we might try to cozy up to them temporarily. We'll see. So Flying Spire allows us to actually move our main tower in the event that you want to. Frankly, that is going to be something we're going to need to do at some point, because ultimately you do exhaust a lot of the territory that you control here, right? We have 8 more turns on this watchtower, 9 more turns on the mine, 9 more turns on the ritual altar, but we got a level 3 pristine soul, so that means we can make some ridiculous monster here. So let's see what we can come up with. God, if we just had more death magic here, then we could make a wraith. Oh man, yes, we got it. Alright, so the level 3 pristine soul plus a sky iron, a flintstone, and a charged crystal is all we need here to make the vampire acolytes. Now, this is sort of overkill in terms of our soul use here. We could save this up for a much stronger character in the future, but I think Vampire Acolytes is just so unbelievably good that it has to find its way into our build order right here, especially because we still don't really have a particularly good build for an undead mage. So let's make the Vampire Acolytes. And we'll save one more pristine soul for down the line, but for now, let's go ahead and make another ghoul. But we're starting to see the pieces of a second army, which is going to be pretty useful considering that once we have control over this other territory, we'll have 2 apprentices, and each of them will probably want a separate army to march around the map. Actually, let's see what level up we got. I love speed. Speed's always good. Gotta go fast. Ooh, and another mine ore ability. I just like being able to mine. It's usually pretty good. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there for episode 3 of the Necromancer of Draycott. We do have a couple of really fun new units that we haven't really shown off a whole lot just yet, but I think especially when we start pulling together our second army, we're gonna have some really great opportunities to show stuff off. But those vampire acolytes, I'm so jazzed. They're gonna be a lot of fun. All right, that's Walker. Take care.